Studies show that the average person gets about 3 colds per year. We all know there's no cure, but if you feel one coming on, there are some steps that you can take to stop it dead in its tracks. Timing is key, and every hour counts. And Dr. Holly Phillips of WCBS-TV joins us, our Health Watch, with an hour-by-hour countdown for killing your cold. Dr. Phillips, this is number one on everyone's mind right now. It's such a nuisance to have a cold. So the second you start to feel that sniffle in that first hour, what do you do?
Absolutely. Well, Rebecca, the most important thing is the moment you think you're going to get a cold is to stay well hydrated. Focus on your fluids. There's actually been some recent studies that show staying well hydrated actually boosts your immune system, which is exactly what you want when you're starting to get sick.
So drinking water, drinking OJ, drinking all the liquids you have.
Exactly. Anything that doesn't have sugar is a good choice.
Doesn't have sugar. That's an important point. In that first 3 hours then, you continue to sniffle away a little bit.
Right.
What are you supposed to be doing then?
The next step would be to gargle with some salt water. It'll soothe your throat, take down some inflammation, but more importantly, it actually may make you less contagious by rinsing out bacteria and viruses that can accumulate in the back of the throat. So your family and your coworkers will thank you.
Yes, I will certainly be one of them. In that first 5 hours, what do you need to do 5 hours into all of this?
Well, right now, the saline nasal sprays are all the rage. We hear about them a lot, and they actually may be quite effective. A new study came out that showed if you use it right toward the beginning of an illness, you may make the total symptoms of that cold less severe for the entire duration of the cold. So it's a good idea just to try it. You may also stave off getting a secondary, what we call a sinusitis. You know how sometimes you'll feel like your cold is better, but you just can't kick that runny nose and sinus pain? Using a saline nasal spray may help to prevent that.
With these saline nasal sprays, I always wonder about the frequency. How much should I be really using this?
Right. Twice a day is as much as you should need. Now, I know some people use it 10, 12, 14 times a day, and there's been no added benefit shown from that. So just twice a day should be enough.
At hour 7, maybe try and take a decongestant at this point.
Right. Now is when you might want to start thinking about the over-the-counter medicines. But my mantra with cold medicines in general is that less is more. So I only suggest using ibuprofen or Tylenol if you really, really have bad body aches. And in terms of cough, a new study came out that showed tea with honey and lemon was more effective than the over-the-counter cough medicines. So that's worth a try.
In terms of the ingredients, the active ingredients you should be thinking about trying to find in these decongestants, is there anything you highly recommend?
I always recommend using a very plain decongestant. Now, by plain, I mean you look at the box and it says for congestion, for runny nose only. I prefer that over the list of 15 symptoms. You don't need the medicine that says for headache, for chills, for fever, for every ache in your body. I find people end up over-medicated and even a little sedated from those. So if you need a decongestant just to get through work, you're too stuffed up, use one that's just a plain decongestant and only has one ingredient.
Very good advice. 24 hours later, you're feeling like I've almost gotten through this thing. What do you do?
Exactly. Well, you just keep up with the same regimen. But if you feel like you're getting worse, if you have a high fever or a severe headache or abdominal pain, call your doctor. Now, most of the time it's just a common cold, but you might have the flu or a bacterial infection, something that needs treatment. So don't hesitate to call. We're expecting those calls all winter long.
You're going to pick up the phone?
Absolutely.
Promise? All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Holly Phillips. Happy holidays.
You too.
And for more ways to kill your cold, go to our partner in health, WebMD.com, and search cold.